Hello everybody and welcome to yet another edition of Hops at Home, our virtual happy hour recorded via Zoom conferencing at the Brit and Yankee Pub Studios and other locations. Unfortunately, Mr. Jay Rizicki is not able to join us for this particular edition. However, I do have my good chum from Frontline Brewing, Mr. Ken McMullen. Hello, Ken. How the hell are you, my friend? You're sitting on your porch again.
Yep, I'm excellent, Phil. I was actually weeding my hop garden. I was going to sit over there, but the wind's a little chilly, so I came up here on the porch.
All right, and you have a glass in your hand, I can tell. So what are you drinking this fine day?
Well, it's nice and dark and warming. It is Sleepy Bear from Workforce. This is the Brambleberry Cheesecake, which was, it's their milk stout aged on blackberries and raspberries. It's delicious.
I got some of that as well the same day as you. I got two of those. One went into my Christmas Advent calendar, so I still got one to crack open.
I was going to tell you the ABV, but it's not on the can, so I don't know.
That's right. I was talking to you about that, and you said apparently it's not a legal requirement to put the ABV on the can.
No, it's pretty much marketing.
Well, I tell you what I'm drinking, but I don't know yet. And the reason I don't know is that I have two guests, one who is a member of the Jihad, as you can see right below me, and that is Mr. Chris Contesso, who we commonly refer to as Long Hair Chris, who is the brewer over at Black and Gray Brewing. Welcome, Chris. And then the guy to my left, I think as you're looking at it, is the other Chris. We call him No Hair Chris. And Chris, you are the owner brewer of Black and Gray Brewing. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Phil. Good to see you.
And you guys are in masks, although you're about to take them off so we can see your full lovely faces. But the reason that you're in masks is twofold. Number one, because you're at the brewery. However, you're sitting well apart from one another, which is why you can take those masks off now. And secondly, you wanted to make a point, Chris, because your job in real life is one I'm very happy to have you on, because you're one of our first responders, because you're a lieutenant in the Elgin Fire Department, right?
That is correct.
So tell me, what exactly is your role in this particular virus? We'll come to Black and Gray in a second.
Well, actually, for the Elgin Fire Department, normally I ride on Quint 1, which is one of the suppression vehicles. But due to the COVID virus, we've actually implemented a COVID officer, which I've been assigned to as for my shift. And basically on any call where it's a possible COVID call, I respond in an SUV and provide support to the guys, make sure they're wearing the proper PPE, make sure we're getting our PPE replaced at the hospitals, and that we're following up with patients who might be testing positive so we can make sure that we keep our guys safe.
And have you had any problem getting PPE, which I think is personal protection equipment, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's the N95 masks and the face shields and the gowns and stuff. We're very lucky. Our staff, our chiefs have been very proactive in securing PPE for us, and the hospitals have done a great job of getting their PPE in order. And so far, we've been okay as far as PPE is concerned.
Well, thank you very much for all your service. And running a brewery at the same time, I'm sure, is quite a difficult task. However, let us turn our attention to beer. In front of me, I have 3 bottles of beer. And I'm going to ask you guys to tell me which one I'm going to drink on this show. So I have here the Cooper Project, which is a Scotch ale from Goose Island. I have a Raspberry Cream, which is from Riverlands, and that was our last edition, put out on Sunday. And then I have something a little light, which is from Founders of the Blushing Red. So which one, 2, or 3? No Hair, Chris.
I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with Riverlands as far as I'm concerned.
And Chris Contesso?
Yeah, 2.
Riverlands. Okay, we'll take these away, put them back in the fridge over here. Well, put them on the shelf anyway. And we're going to open a Raspberry Cream, which is from Riverlands. And this was one of the ones that was part of the Valentine's Day collection, which they sold 4 different breweries. And I have actually had this one before, but I'm going to have it again. So thank you for choosing for me. Oh, it didn't all fit in there. That's a good thing. Right. So back to what are you drinking, or are you not drinking? And if you're not drinking, why are you not drinking?
So unfortunately, with the shutdown orders, we are not allowed to do any alcohol consumption on premises right now. So we are dry as a bone. We just got done canning off about 200 cases of beer, and I think both Chris and I would love to have a beer at the moment, but we got to wait till we go home.
So, Chris Contesso, you have to go. Can you go outside and do it? Or you can't, you can go outside maybe? I don't know the rules.
No, it's still, the patio's still like on-site consumption, so nothing on-site. I mean, I can go on my porch outside at my house and have it, but that's about it.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your brewery, Chris, no hair Chris. I'm going to call you Kennedy. How's that?
That's perfect.
And Contesso. Chris and Contesso. No, Kennedy and Contesso. It sounds like a law firm, doesn't it? There we go. All right, Kennedy.
We're Black and Gray Brewing out of East Dundee, right on the square. We are a tap room and nano brewery. We just got into distribution with the help of this pandemic. My wife, Teresa, runs the tap room. She does an amazing job, and she cannot wait until we can open back up and get all our friends and supporters back in here and drinking some good beer.
And you guys are located up in East Algonquin? No, what is it? East Dundee. Sorry, you're on off Algonquin on East Dundee, right?
Yeah, we're about 2 blocks north of Higgins, Route 72, just east of the river. So if you're driving down 72 through the Dundees, you just have to go a couple of blocks north, and there we are.
I have not had the pleasure of being at your place yet, so I'm curious about things like the equipment and maybe how you started and I don't know, just tell me about your place.
Sure. This started as a hobby for myself. I got hurt at work and had back surgery, and my golfing days were pretty much over, so I was looking for a new hobby. Teresa said, with you being such a beer snob, maybe you should start making some beer. Started on the stovetop, ruined her stovetop, got kicked out of the kitchen, out into the garage where I built a small all-grain system, and it just morphed into this. We're brewing on a 2-barrel Blickman system here that we run 2.5-barrel batches on, so we have pretty full mash tun, especially if we're doing some higher alcohol beers. And we double batch every time we brew into 5-barrel fermenters. We have 4 of those, and then we have a 5-barrel bright tank. And then we do all our serving out of kegs. We have 14 taps, and we have 4 or 5 beers that we keep on year round, and then everything else rotates through the season, or the whims of the brewers, as it were.
Sure.
We do some small batch stuff.
You said you just canned a bunch of beer. Were you canning before, or did you bring in a mobile canner, or just for this, or what?
So the first time that we canned was March. Right when this hit, we had just decided to start canning. So just lucky timing on our part. We actually didn't think we were big enough to get the canning line in here for the first year that we were here, because our brewery is L-shaped and only about 20 foot by 20 foot, the actual brew space. But Willcraft Canning came down and took a look and said, well, if we move all the tables in your tap room out of the way, you got a nice 60-foot run here, and we can fit everything there. So we gave it a shot, and literally as we were canning, they were talking about shutting down the state, and we all thought that was just crazy and that it was never going to happen. And then about 4 days later, everything was shut down. So we scheduled right back up with them again to get more beer in cans, because that's really one of the few ways we can get our product out right now.
Cool.
And Chris Contesso, you were brought on board from the East Coast, right?
Yeah, so I was living out east for about 4 years, and I'm originally from Crystal Lake, Illinois. I kind of, was over living out there on the island and the lifestyle, and missed home, and came back, and it was just perfect timing that they were getting together, and they were looking for beer tenders, and I applied for that and spoke with Teresa, and then things kind of came together from there with what I had on my resume and stuff. So
what is your favorite beer to brew that's currently on tap? Your recipes, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of small batch stuff in our little 1-barrel fermenter. We do a year-round beer, our Belgian blonde ale. So we pulled some yeast from that, and I did a kind of like a lot of late edition hops, and did a Belgian IPA, small batch of that. That's on draft right now. But yeah, it's just fun messing around with small batch stuff and trying new things.
Kennedy, how is your delivery, curbside? What is the process there going on for you guys?
So right now, because we have dropped down to such a skeleton staff, we're doing straight pickup. We have an overhead door that we open up so people don't have to worry about touching doorknobs or anything like that. They can just walk right in, order from about 5 feet inside the building, and then walk right back out. We're open Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 5. You can always call ahead to have your order ready for you so you can get in and out right away. You can email us through our contact form on our website and let us know when you want some beer. And we'd be glad to get it set up for you and have it ready for you when you get here.
Do you do crowlers, etc.?
We have growlers, and we had ordered a pretty large crowler order right before this happened, and we thought we were going to be safe, and we've gone through all our crowlers already.
Wow.
There are no more to be found. So we've switched to oil cans, we call them. They're the 25-ounce, 750 milliliter cans. So they're the same width as a crowler. They're just a little shorter, a little stubbier. So those have replaced our crowlers. According to our supplier, we're looking at least till late July, early August before they're going to have crowler cans again. So,
Is the oil can the twist job?
no, it's kind of like a Foster's can.
A Foster's can? Hey, I got my Foster's over here, mate. I
saw that. That's why I said that.
I think Chris has rushed off to get one, unless he's gone into the back of the I guess, are they? Here we go. Here he is. So, Chris, what is this?
These are the shorter ones that we are using now due to the shortage of the 32-ounce.
So, do you have a sealer then? You have a sealer, right?
Yeah, they seem the same way. It's a little adapter that sits on the crowler machine that raises it a little higher than it normally would. So it's the same machine that will seal these. Fill them right from the draft line, and then.
I like that label.
Yeah, good one.
They will not label for us.
Hey, if the beer is good inside it, then what the hell do we have to worry about?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, legally, you have to put something on the side. I mean, I think, Ken, at Hotvine, you've got proper labels and all that stuff, but what do you legally have on that?
Actually, when you fill to order, it's considered a glass, so the federal label requirements don't apply. So the crowlers and growlers, you can put anything on there. You don't have to have the warning label.
There you go, Chris. You put anything on there.
We put our name, what beer's inside of it, the date we put it in there, and the ABV.
Yeah, cool.
You should personally sign each can.
Well, that's what we joked about when we first got them. We said, you're getting these hand-signed cans by the brewers themselves. These are going to be...
So, Chris, I did it again. So, Kennedy, what is a message, being in the business you are in full-time, what's the message that you can push out to everybody who is watching this? Because I've seen, we had a first responders parade up and down the road outside the Brit and Yankee pub yesterday, and I was very happy to see that. It was a little breath of fresh air, and thanks a lot to all the people who are involved in it. But as somebody who is on the quote unquote front line, I mean, this is the home front line. What can you tell everybody?
Well, I will tell you, and I want to stay far clear of any political stance or anything like that, but this virus is real. It is very prevalent right now. We are seeing it. The first responders are seeing it multiple times a day. There's a reason that the scientists and the government says it's a good idea to stay at home, or if you have to go out, to wear masks and stay 6 feet away. And I think the better we do at making sure that we follow those rules in the short term, the faster we can get out of this and get back to a normalized lifestyle. And 2, the easier you make it on first responders, and more importantly, nurses and doctors. I mean, the hospitals are really the front line of this, and they are busy, and they're dealing with some real sick people. And I know it frustrates them when they see people not following the rules, because that just means that their workload is going to be higher.
Yeah, and still wear the mask, still social distance, and nothing has gone away. It's just a little bit has been relaxed.
I mean, I am a business owner whose business has basically been shut down. So I have a very economically viable reason to want to return to normal. But for the time being, this is the best thing to do, and this is what's going to get us back to hopefully a normal summer.
Well, I guess I would say put your mask back on. But we can't do a cheers for that. Well, you can anyway. This is the first time we've had somebody who's at a brewery who isn't drinking. But hey, you're with it. This is a virtual happy hour, so virtually pick up your glass. I want to say thanks a lot to Chris Contesso for helping support you in brewing your good beer. I've had your beer. I'm sorry I don't have any now. I'm going to have to come up and get some.
I'd love to see you, Phil.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Brilliant. I love them. Can I get something other than a New England IPA?
Well, the other beer Chris has there is our Cesar Chavez Mexican Lager.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're releasing that tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo. We're getting it in. We actually delivered our first round of it to a local liquor store this afternoon. I mean, literally off the candy line right to the liquor store.
Wow.
And,
cool.
It's light, crisp, great summer beer. We brewed it last year, and we actually had to brew it halfway through the summer again because we ran out. We're excited to have it back on.
I forgot to say, by the way, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you as well.
Yeah, right. Well, that's really cool. Everybody should rush up there and grab some of that. And what liquor stores are stocking your product? Because you just started distribution. So
we just started. We're only in a couple so far. We've got Geno's Wine and Spirits in Elgin off of McLean Boulevard, and Otter Creek Wine and Spirits off of Randall, just south of 20.
Okay, good. Well, hey, I'm going to raise my glass to you. And Ken, thanks a lot for stopping your weeding and sitting on the porch and enjoying a beer. Cheers to you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks to Chris Contesso for joining us. Put your Jihad mask back on, Chris. And then thanks to Chris Kennedy. You can go back to being black with your mask as well, because it's really cool. Look at it. Look, these guys definitely will appear in a post office somewhere close to you. Black and Gray Brewing. Cheers. All the best, guys. Take care.
Cheers, guys.